In a world where everyone seems to have something negative to say about Erika Kirk, where every single public appearance gets dissected, mocked, analyzed, and turned into a meme within hours, somebody just stepped forward and said something completely different. No criticism, no conspiracy theories, no viral stare jokes, no accusations, just genuine, heartfelt admiration from someone who has seen a lot of grief in her career. From someone who has covered some of the most violent, most heartbreaking news stories in recent American history. From someone who knew Charlie Kirk personally and watched this entire tragedy unfold from the inside. Fox News host Rachel Campos-Duffy just looked at Erika Kirk last month. The assassination, the chaos, the WCD shooting, the online attacks, the conspiracy theories, the feuds, the criticism, and said words that cut right through all of it. I admire the way she's continued to move forward. Welcome back to the Marquee Report. I'm your host. And today we are covering a story that is genuinely different from everything else we have been discussing around Erika Kirk lately. Because while the internet has been tearing her apart, one Fox News host just reminded everyone that behind all the noise, behind all the drama, behind all the controversy, there is a real woman carrying an almost unimaginable weight. And doing it with something that not everyone has noticed. Faith. Let's get into it. Before we get into exactly what Rachel said, let's talk about who she is. Because the source of this praise matters just as much as the praise itself. Rachel Campos-Duffy is a 54-year-old Fox News host and co-host of Fox and Friends Weekend. She has been in the media for years. She has covered breaking news, political chaos, national tragedies, and everything in between. This is not someone who hands out compliments casually. This is not someone who has not seen real grief up close. She covers it regularly. She understands what it looks like. She knows the difference between someone genuinely carrying loss and someone performing it. And she sat down with Us Weekly this week while discussing the release of her brand new book and chose to talk about Erika Kirk, specifically, deliberately, with warmth and admiration that felt completely unscripted. That matters. Because in a media landscape right now where Erika Kirk's name is almost always attached to controversy, criticism, or conspiracy, having a prominent, credible public figure step forward and offer something different shifts the conversation in a meaningful way. Let's get into the actual quotes, because they are worth hearing in full. It must be so difficult what she's going through, Campos-Duffy exclusively shared with Us Weekly. It's tragic enough if you have a spouse or the father of your children die in a car accident, but to have them executed on a college campus, doing peaceful, friendly debate with college students. Really in the spirit of debate that our country has always encouraged and embraced. It's just so shocking and violent. Read that again. Executed on a college campus in the spirit of debate. That framing, simple, direct, and devastating, cuts through months of internet noise and brings the conversation back to what actually happened. A 31-year-old man was shot and killed while giving a speech. Whatever you think of his politics, whatever you think of his legacy, whatever you think of his wife, that is the reality at the center of all of this. A violent, shocking, senseless assassination of a young father. And then Campos-Duffy said something about the aftermath that really landed. I admire the way she's continued to move forward, Campos-Duffy explained. She continues to try to carry that message of patriotism and love for America, and certainly her faith to it all. I mean, since the first day after this happened, I think it was difficult not to notice that faith was indeed what was carrying her. Faith was what was carrying her. That one line, quietly, reframes almost everything we have been talking about when it comes to Erika Kirk's public behavior over the last 8 months. The all-black outfit, the viral stare, the anniversary tribute, the podcast appearances, the CCD attendance. All of it, through Campos-Duffy's lens, becomes not calculated PR moves but the actions of a woman of faith determined not to let grief destroy her or the mission she believes her late husband left behind. Now here is the part of this story that I found genuinely moving, because it adds a layer of personal connection that makes Rachel's praise feel even more authentic. When working on her new book printed under Fox News Books, Campos-Duffy had hoped that Charlie would say yes to writing the foreword to All-American Patriotism. Think about that. She was writing a book about American patriotism, a topic Charlie Kirk was arguably more publicly passionate about than almost anyone in conservative media. He would have been the perfect person to open that book, and she asked him. And then, before he could answer, he was gone. After his death, the author was more than grateful to learn that Erika was open to stepping in and being part of the project on her late husband's behalf, and Erika said yes. She stepped into that role. She sat down and wrote words for a book her husband never got to contribute to, and what she wrote, according to Campos-Duffy, was extraordinary. I was really honored that she said yes. What's really touching is even just the first lines she says. Charlie never got to see America turn 250, and some days that thought still settles heavy to my heart, Campos-Duffy shared. She just talks about how much he would have loved all the celebrations that are happening around this anniversary, and his love for the country. Erika did an amazing job. Charlie never got to see America turn 250. Some days thought still settles heavy to my heart. That is not PR language. That is not carefully crafted image management. That is a widow writing honestly about what grief actually feels like, the specific unexpected moments when loss hits hardest. Not the big anniversaries, not the obvious milestones, but the thought of what he would have loved, what he would have celebrated, what he never got to see. Here is where I want to zoom out, because this Rachel Campos-Duffy story is not just a nice moment in an otherwise brutal news cycle for Erika Kirk. It is actually something more significant than that. We have covered a lot of Erika Kirk content on this channel. The viral stare, the anniversary tribute controversy, the Candace Owens feud, the thumbnail scandal, the college degree hypocrisy accusations, the net worth explosion, the WCD shooting, the performative grief accusations. And through all of it, one thing has been missing from the public conversation. A credible, prominent voice cutting through the noise and saying something simple, something human. Something that does not require a conspiracy theory or a viral clip or a shocking revelation to land. This is a grieving woman. She lost her husband violently. She is raising children without their father, and she is showing up anyway, every single day, carrying a mission that was cut short before it was finished. Rachel Campos-Duffy saw that, and she said it out loud, on the record, in a national publication. While most of the internet was busy arguing about whether Erika's tears were real, or whether her outfits were appropriate, or whether her stare was creepy. And that contrast between the internet's obsession with tearing Erika apart and one thoughtful woman's choice to acknowledge her strength says something worth sitting with. About what grief actually looks like, about what carrying loss publicly actually costs. And about how easily we forget the human being underneath the controversy when the controversy becomes the content. Rachel Campos-Duffy looked at 8 months of one of the most scrutinized, most criticized, most mocked public grieving processes in recent memory, and chose to see something different. Strength, faith, a woman moving forward under impossible circumstances. Whether Erika Kirk deserves every criticism she gets, whether you believe her, trust her, or find her deeply suspicious, one thing Rachel reminded us this week is worth remembering. Behind every viral moment, behind every controversial stare, behind every headline, there is a woman whose husband was executed on a college campus, who is raising his children alone, who said yes to writing a foreword for a book he never got to contribute to, because she wanted his love for this country to be remembered. Some days, that thought still settles heavy to my heart. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Does Rachel Campos-Duffy's praise change how you see Erika Kirk at all? I want to hear from you. Hit subscribe if you are new here. And I will see you in the next one at the Marquee Report.